Natasha De Alencar joins me now from Elgin Air Force Base in Florida. And so first, Natasha, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We heard some of your conversation with the president there. What else did he talk to you about?
Initially, when we first started, right from the gate, he sent his condolences and he apologized. He agreed, like I said, it was a horrible situation. He was very sincere. He knew a lot about my husband as far as who he was as a soldier. He told me he liked to do his research before he has to make a phone call as tragic as the one he had to make to me. And he hit my husband dead on the nail. Like he spoke to other people that my husband had worked with and who was on that front line with my husband at the time of his death. And Donald Trump, for a moment, I kind of forgot that he was the commander-in-chief. It was more like talking to maybe just a regular person who was sending out their condolences for someone who has lost a loved one.
And what did that mean to you? You've said, you know, that the president understood your loss, that he really understood who your husband was.
Yes. At that time, 4 days later, you're still kind of upside down. We have 5 children. So you're not knowing what's going on. Everything in the military kind of goes fast after that. So you're kind of being pulled. You don't have that moment to really sink a lot in. So getting that call with all of my children except one, he was away at college, it meant at that moment everything. Because at that moment, prior to that call, we were down. It was a bad time for us. It was gloomy. We had actually just got back from Walmart making pillowcases and blowing up pictures because I wanted to keep the memory going ASAP. I didn't want to waste any time. So we had just got back when we had got that that the president wanted to speak to us from our COA at the time. So that call at that very moment was everything to me and my children, because not only did we or the community, because 4 days after, the community had already sent out outpour and their concern and the condolences, but to have the president of the United States, the one who is the commander of chief, to take 5 to 6 minutes out of his busy day to let you know, I'm sorry. And I want to let you know that your husband, he is an American hero. So for him to say it is something that we've already known. He was always our hero.
Was it about 5 minutes? Was it about 5 minutes?
About roughly what I remember, about 5 minutes or so, maybe 4.5 minutes, 5, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's been so much controversy, Natasha, you know this, surrounding, right, the president's call with the Gold Star widow of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson. What do you make of all of that?
Well, first, I would like to send my condolences out to all 4 of those fallen soldiers, those American heroes, families. I know firsthand what they're going through. And I know firsthand that knock on the door with those soldiers that came there not to play business. They have their clean white gloves. They have their expressionless face. So I just want them to know that my heart's theirs. I get it. I know it. And I'm here if any other family members, including the widow, wants to talk. No one knows it like the person who's walked through it, and I'm still walking through it. It's a day-to-day. It gets better, but you'll never forget. So having the memories, the pictures, the call from the president, the outpouring of love from the community, that's what gets us to go by day, doing what we need to do. So as far as that, I've heard it, like you said, on the media. My heart breaks for her. She has lost her husband. She has lost her rock, just like I have. Her children are now having to look at pictures and memories, just like I have, of how great their father was. Her husband is an American hero, just like mine. I really don't know too much else about what's been said, but my heart goes out to her. If this is what happened to her, my heart breaks for her. And
well, she said, you know, I mean, what she has said, she said she didn't like the president's tone, that he said he knew, LaDavid Johnson, her husband, knew what he signed up for. She says that he struggled to remember his name. He couldn't get his name right. I mean, and she said that call made her cry. It made things almost worse for her. It seems like it's the opposite experience from what you had.
Yes, and my story is when I was asked several times by reporters about that, if he's communicated letter or phone call. I wanted to share with everyone that, yes, he did reach out, and this is what he had to say about my husband. For her, if this is what she's saying is what happened, the only thing that I can really comment on is that my heart breaks for her if this is what's going on. I didn't hear it. I only know what what everyone else is saying. But if this is truly in her heart, and I would believe like anyone else, she would, she is saying, she's a phone call. She knows what she's heard. So if that is true, then all I can honestly say is my heart goes out to her, and I'm sorry that happened. I truly am.
White House Chief of Staff, General John Kelly, he held a news conference talking about his son who died in Afghanistan in 2010. Do you think it should be the president's role to make these condolence calls, or should it be someone who can relate, having experienced something similar? Donald Trump never served. Would Donald Trump really be able to relate or understand?
I just personally think at a time when you are running the United States, and we know how important the military is to all of us. We know exactly what they're doing. For us to even have this conversation that you and I are having, I feel like the phone call that is made versus whomever it's made from, if you're calling, regardless if it was Kelly or President Donald Trump, just a call or a letter or something of that kind of area just shows that you care. And as a military wife, that's all we want. We want people not to forget. So we don't care who sends the message. We just want to make sure that people notice, and that's it.
What would you like people to know about your husband?
Just like what I've already known for the past 15 years. He was an amazing man. He was an amazing father. And he was a kick-down, bad dude on that front line as a soldier. He is truly missed. The void is in our lives daily. But what I really want people to really understand, and I want them to know, is that he loved his country. And when he was on that front line with his brothers, nothing else mattered but the task at hand. And he loved it. He wanted to do this since I can remember high school. So I just want people to know that he's missed, but I'm proud. I couldn't be any more prouder of my husband because he did what he wanted to do. And he's an American hero for that. He's the reason why we're all here today, along with so many fallen soldiers before him, and like those 4 fallen soldiers after him. They're the reason why we're here. And if people could just remember that, and only that, wow, 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 wow. And that's it.
Natasha, appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for the platform to speak about my amazing husband. I really appreciate it, sir.